This is part 9. I realize now that if I had been on the internet and had been more familiar with it, a lot of the delay and frustrations I encountered would not have been. I also realize that if I had been more familiar with the HBIGDA and their standard of care system, I would have been a lot better off, since I would have avoided it altogether. All of the past life was spent not only wanting to be female, but engaged in a conflict with myself, trying to cure myself of that desire. Though I may be top-heavy in diplomas and schooling, I never intended to practice as a psychologist. The purpose of that schooling was to understand, analyze, and resolve my own inner conflicts. Some of that schooling was provided by the military when I was active duty, and almost all the rest was paid for by the GI Bill. Sometimes an employer would subsidize a course here or there, and almost 1.5 years of college credit was gained through the CLEP, College Level Examination Program, which is from the Armed Forces Institute, USAFI. I understood too late that my effort to educate myself in order to understand and cure myself was a terrible mistake. If I had spent the time and effort getting the GRS instead of avoiding it, I would have been better off. So these videos not only outline a shortcut to the GRS, but also I hope they tell you that if you suffer from gender identity disorder, genital dysphoria, or gender dysphoria, please accept that fact and get the GRS. All the counseling, medication, professional help, psychoanalysis, and therapy are absolutely worth nothing, zero, zilch. The only sure cure and the only path to completion and happiness within yourself, with yourself, is the GRS. Thank you for your patience. Now, here's the shortcut. Make money. More on this in part 10. When you are within 3 months of having the required money in the bank, transition. Don't struggle with transition issues while you are busy making money. I think it is better to live in your biological sex role while making that money. This is the main thing. Get the money together and concentrate on that to the exclusion of all else. When the money is in the bank, make the transition. Immediately file for your name change. Depending on venue, jurisdiction, this should take about 2 to 2.5 months. Mine was 55 days. At the same time, find an alternative medicine doctor and start natural HRT. Now, prepare a set of documents. 1. A well-written summary of your gender identity disorder and the life you have had to lead because of it. 2. A letter from a doctor describing a physical exam and include an HIV and, if MTF, a PSA, prostate cancer test. 3. A letter from the alternative medicine doctor describing the HRT. 4. A letter attesting to your testamentary soundness. A psychologist rather than a psychiatrist is the optimal choice. 5. And any other documents specifically requested from the surgeon who will perform the GRS. Mail them to the address on the website. As for that item of information, here's the website. There is only one doctor, to my knowledge and experience, who will perform the GRS without SOC approval. And the real-life test and hormone replacement therapy, HRT, for a year. The doctor? Well, there's his name. Pichai Rajarian, MD, of Bangkok. Contact me by email, and I will do my best to facilitate your GRS process with Dr. Pichai. But don't screw with me. Be serious and have the money together. Even though I was charged $5,000 as of January 2008, that fee has gone up to $6,500. And as I understand from regular visits with him, that is due to go up again to $7,000. A 10% deposit with the doctor will help to hold the price at the current level. Airfare from LA to Bangkok, count on about $1,500. Miscellaneous expenses, $500, and whatever expenses you may have getting from where you are to Los Angeles. You may find a cheaper route, or use frequent flyer miles, or work your way across the Pacific on a tramp steamer. I understand there are flights out of Detroit to Bangkok via Tokyo or Seoul. which is in Korea. As soon as the name change is complete, change the name on your passport, or apply for a new one with your new name if you don't have one already. I've had a passport since I was 8. Everyone should have one, as it is the best idea in the world. Or get a passport in your old name, which may be easier, and travel to Bangkok using it. The doctor will give you a letter certifying your change of gender, then take that letter plus the name change order to the embassy in Bangkok and change both name and gender. That takes about 10 days. If my husband and I are not traveling and are at home, I will escort you through the process. I may also see you at the clinic in Bangkok or meet you with the driver at the airport. I moved to Thailand in May of 2008, which is where I uploaded this from. Anything I may have forgotten, please write me at this email. To the idiots and wackos in the crowd, note this is on an untraceable and disposable email address. My main objection to the SOC is that no allowance is made for need, age, experience, or certainty of commitment. Everyone must submit to the ridiculous and humiliating process known as the system. Everybody must pay and pay and pay, not just with money, but with time, dignity, and mental suffering. That is objection number 1. Objection number 2 is the real-life test. Live for a year in the destination gender role. What does that mean? In the world today, what defines gender role? Clothing, hairstyle, job? Well, that is at the discretion of the gender therapist. Whatever they decide, that you must do, must conform to. Not your individual need, but an arbitrary definition someone else decides for you. Objection number 3 is the HRT. How does taking hormones prove a person ready for the GRS? Or could it be yet another obstacle to delay you? Another hand in your pocket, taking money that could be better used for the GRS. Objection number 4 is to the HBIGDA itself and the standard of care. Like any system, it is based on maximizing profit and risk management. Profit and greed fuel the gender change industry, and that's what it is, an industry. Just like the law, medicine, and government. Not to serve the needs of the individual, but to make a living and enrich themselves at your expense. Objection number 5. The SOC is all rules and requirements with no obligation for the gender therapist to explain why or give reasons for those rules. I have given you the details of my journey through life, my struggle for happiness, and my quick route to the GRS. I sincerely wish you luck. In the next part, I will give you some ideas to make money, ideas that I have used, and I have found them to be very successful for making a lot of money very quickly. I have left some meditations for you to think about what I have said. Please go to part 10 when they are finished.
Dana parami sampano, Dana upaparami sampano, Dana paramata parami sampano, Metta Maitri, Karuna Mudita, Upekha parami sampano, Itipiso apakoa,